Then there's a third category of rewards that the Bible mentions. And they're honors and privileges that accompany the crowns that God will give out. The Apostle Paul in 1 Corinthians 9:24 through 27 encourages Christians to live in such a way as to get a crown and a full reward. This is what he says: run in such a way as to get the prize. Everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. They do it to get a crown that will not last. But we do it to get a crown that will last forever. Now here the Apostle Paul uses the Olympic races of his own time to illustrate how we should live the Christian life. First thing he says is, if you're going to run the race, that is, if you're going to live the Christian life, run it in such a way as to get the prize, to win. Now in the Olympics in Greece, any athlete who won the race received a prize. It was a crown. The crown was actually a wreath that was made out of celery leaves. And those celery leaves only lasted for a few hours, and then they faded away. In comparison, Paul said, Christians are seeking to get a crown that will last forever. Now, what is this crown that he's talking about? Well, athletes who won in the Olympics received a crown which entitled them to ongoing rewards when they got home. Sometimes they would be given a new home, and their children's education would be provided free. Sometimes a home would be built for the athlete's parents. And for the rest of his life and his family's lives, none of them would ever pay taxes. So that crown that he got symbolized continuing honors and rewards that continued for the rest of the athlete's life. I believe this is also true about the crowns God will give. Yes, we can throw our crowns at Christ's feet, as it says in Revelation, but the privileges that they represent will continue to be ours even for all eternity. Now, in the Bible, there are 5 different crowns mentioned that Christians can receive for service to Christ. First, in 1 Thessalonians 2:19 through 20, we read about the crown of rejoicing. This crown is actually symbolic of the people that we have led to the Lord. Paul says about these people, you are our glory and joy, 1 Thessalonians 2:20. Do you realize that someday someone in heaven is going to thank you for bringing them the gospel? By the way, you also will thank someone for bringing you to the Lord. The gospel message goes right back to Christ himself, who brought it to this earth and made it possible. Second, in 1 Peter 5:1 through 4, we're told, there's a crown of glory that will be given to church elders, deacons, who have served well in the church. Peter writes, to the elders among you, I appeal as a fellow elder, a witness of Christ's sufferings, and one who also will share in the glory to be revealed. Be shepherds of God's flock that is under your care, serving as overseers, not because you must, but because you are willing as God wants you to be, not greedy for money, but eager to serve, not lording it over those entrusted to you, but being examples to the flock. And then when the chief shepherd appears, you will receive the crown of glory that will never fade away. And then third, in 2 Timothy 4:7 and 8, we see the crown of righteousness that's going to be given to those who eagerly await for Christ's appearing. Apostle Paul says, I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Now there is in store for me the crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. Is he talking about you? Fourth, in James 1:12, we see the crown of life, which I believe is a heightened form of experiencing heaven and God, that's going to be given to those who endure the sufferings of temptation. Are you tempted with a lot of things? Are you persevering? Well, look at what James says. Blessed is the man who perseveres under trial, because when he has stood the test, is that describing you? If so, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. And then the fifth crown is in 1 Corinthians 9:25. It's a crown of mastery that will be given to those who have mastered the sins of the body. Paul says, everyone who competes in the games goes into strict training. He's using that Olympic illustration again. They do it to get a crown that will not last, but we do it to get a crown that will last forever.